So when it comes time to change the filter, or clean out the filter anyways, it's a real simple process. You're going to just need this handy. And what you want to do is first isolate the water softener system by closing these valves so the water doesn't go in here, any sediment that gets stirred up during the process. Then you want to close the main line coming in from the pump so no pressures in the line. Then you can, for the sake of it, close this outside tap too so it doesn't flow backwards during the opening of the system. And then you want to turn off this one back here, which is to the house, and that way it prevents the whole house from back draining into the filter basket while you're trying to change it. And you also then don't get a lot of air bubbles and sediment being stirred up when you re-energize the system. So once those are all closed, you can release the pressure by pressing this button. That's why I have the bucket handy. Then you just simply slip on the collar and give it a good push. You might have to put your shoulder into it, but it takes a really good push that way, and then you can just spin it off, drop it into the, or let it place it into the bucket, and at that point it'd be kind of overflowing and whatnot. I usually lift it out, pour a little bit of excess into the bucket, then come over here, take the one filter out of the blue container, put it in here because it's going to be just saturated, and then have this handy, put it back in the blue container. And on top of the blue container there's an O-ring, and that's what this stuff is for. It's a special type of silicone based, I don't know, like a Vaseline almost, but it doesn't break down the silicone, or it doesn't break down the gasket. You can buy it at Home Depot, Home Hardware. I found this at Home Depot. And you just smear a little bit of that on so that it doesn't stick so hard and easier to get off next time. Then you spin it all back together. Then you re-energize the system. Turn it back on. Turn this back on so you don't forget. Go ahead, press this button again, let all the air out. You'll hear once the air stops spurting through there and just water coming out, that it's got most of the air out of the system. Then you can do that. Open up the rest of the house again. Before you put it on the water softener, just in case there's any sediment that's been stirred up during the process, you can drain, using this one, the house water into the bucket, and you'll lose a bunch of the air that's in the lines, any gunk. And then once everything's flowed past this point, you can go ahead and open it up again, and the whole system is done. And it's cleaned out and ready to go. And usually after I do a filter change with a clean filter, I usually like to do the process of the manual regeneration, where I use the iron remover, and with the process I showed earlier, or next, depending on where this video is, then do the regeneration, and the whole system is spanking clean. These have just recently been serviced, so it might be a while before you need to bother with that. But at that point, we can probably put you in touch with the water guy, and he could help you out with that one. Or you've got the literature there if you feel comfortable doing it. All the filters are available through the water guy. He's familiar with the system. You tell Al what the address is, he'll know which one you're talking about, and he'll be able to set you up.